Oh, sorry. Thought I was muted. Apologies. Um, anyway, hello, Six Pack. We'll be starting in just a moment. I'm gonna start in, well, when it hits 6:02 on my clock. Um, I should get some water because my throat is very angry. But anyway, we're gonna do this the the thing now. I have gotten some water and I my throat was not happy with me for a second there. Anyway, yeah, we're going to be yes and no. It was going to be a video, but I decided I'll just do a stream and then I will make the video be like an edited version of the VOD later. But yeah, Palm Island, the trailer for that came out yesterday. And videos will be coming out from like daily starting tomorrow up until Feast Ember, and then think I forget what the schedule is for. I forget what the schedule is for after that, but at some point it's gonna be 4 videos weekly, I think, but specifically for Palm Island and not just videos in general. Let's put on some background music. Yeah, it's not gonna happen all at once. And it's mostly going to be one monster at a time, but the first 2 batches are a few monsters at once. Um, so if I pull up Palm Island here, let me make it so I can still see the chat. So I pull up this image of Palm Island, right? So how does this island work, right? That's it. It's not like a standard island, but at the same time, it also kind of is like a standard island. Um, oh. Oh, because of the ostrich. Yeah, okay, I see. Um, so, let's start with what we know. Like structures that we're already familiar with. So right here, castle. Simple enough. It works just like it does on any other island, really. Um, probably more on the lines of Gold Island specifically. Maybe like this would be a specific thing to replace the it is. Maybe this would be a specific thing to replace like a specific upgrade to replace the one that's typically like yellow and looks like this on islands, but every other one before it's the same. I honestly haven't really thought that hard about the castle. It doesn't really matter that much. And of course we have a breeding structure and nursery. Um, and this stuff works just like any other island. But where it's different is how you buy the monsters. It's not relics, it's not coins, it's not shards. It's medals. Because as I was thinking, we already have a minigame island, the Colosseum, right? So wouldn't it make sense to have another minigame island also have the same currency? Yes. Yes. That's to hold all of the default structures. Like that you'd get with the island. I would say that you'd probably be able to move like all the structures around minus the castle. So like if you didn't want this here, you can move it here or something like that. You don't want this here, you can move it over here, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Um, but what was I talking about? Right, buying monsters. So the single elements will be bought with 25 or 30, 30 for Tweedle, 25 for Mehmet and Noggin, medals. And then you'd be able to breed them, like I said, Mammoth, Tweedle, Noggin. You'd be able to breed them to get the double elements and Pom Pom. And on this island, Hula is available all year round. And they cost their Colosseum prices. rather than their like typical natural island, whatever islands, prices. That's just because I I wanted it to be sort of in sync with the Coliseum. And the ones I'm referring to are the ones that would be bought with diamonds, so like doubles, triples, hula. I think I said, but hula's available all year long here, just like seasonal shanty. Um, so then what about all the other monsters? If you can get like the base monsters with breeding, what about like Souza, Ruba, Tutu? What about all of the new Pomely members? And yes, there will be new Pomely members. What about them? Like, what's their deal? And for that, I introduce you to these. I introduce you to these two new structures, Papa Papa and Mom Mom. So, Papa Papa is the rhythm game, and you click on them, and it will take you to. Here, let me pull up this very beautifully illustrated island, or not island, menu mock-up. I know, it's beautiful, it's a work of art. So here's how the levels in the Papa Papa structure would work. And again, they would be rhythm minigames. So I refer to these each in batches rather than like levels, because like a level can be a batch, or a level is a batch, but a batch doesn't have to be just one level, I guess. I know, it's absolutely beautiful. So like this right here is batch 1, batch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, so on. I figured that's what you meant, don't worry. But then here, there's 2 levels in batch 1, 3 in batch 2, and the rest are all 1 level per batch. And that's how the island's going to be coming out. Like, we'll have batch 1 full song, batch 2 full song, and then each of these will get their own little update to the song. Let me see. Hello, welcome. Again, if you have any questions relating to Palm Island as I go, I'm very willing to answer, because if you're wondering, then other people are probably also wondering. Alright, so here are the ones you get through breeding, and that is Pom Pom and Hula. Here, I think you just get a simple reward in like diamonds or something for getting them. Like, nothing too big, honestly. And then that then unlocks batch 2. And you can play the levels in a batch in any order. It doesn't matter. They just all have to be completed before you move on to the next batch. So with batch 2, that would be Souza, Tutu, and Ruba. So with them, with each level you complete from here on, as the reward, you'd get the egg for that monster. And if we switch on back here to, back to Palm Island, instead of going to the nursery, the eggs go into Mom's mouth. Help. I can't talk. The eggs go into my mom's mouth and incubate there instead of in the nursery, like the breedable monsters. I just wanted something to sort of make it so you'd be able to get the exactly. See if Benny gets it. Let me move this over so you can see chat a little better. Oh, hi Clevavera. I wasn't intending to look at you. Please, Benny, please. But I wanted it to be so you could be getting like the breedable monsters, but like if you already gotten Pom Pom, like maybe you have Pango and Noggin or something, you can get Pom Pom and Hula just from that. Oh gosh. So I didn't want getting the rhythm minigame monsters to interfere with that. So I, like, say you're getting Cybop and you already have Pom Pom, and I didn't want it to be like, oh, you already have Cybop in your nursery, so you can't actually get Souza right now. So Souza would instead go here. However, since there is only one of these and you can get 2 of these, you do have to wait for this to incubate before you can get like Ruba or something like that. But I imagine there'd be like a hold list, like a new UI thing where you could select which one you wanted to incubate next. But yeah, basically a second nursery or third, depending on how many you buy on the island. All right. So then essentially the pattern where you beat the level, and then it gives you the corresponding egg. I mean, fair enough. It gives you the corresponding egg. It goes to incubate, and then you unlock the next batch. Assuming you completed all the levels in the previous batch. And that goes all the way until the end. And then once you hit the end, you get I don't know. I don't know the exact worth of medals in comparison to coins, so I can't say exactly how many it should be, but I don't know, maybe like 250, 500, whatever. Okay, that's fair enough. I'm fine with that. Um, like I don't know, just something where you would definitely get like a benefit compared to how much you would have put into getting Tweedle, Mammoth, and Noggin. Like I just wanted it to be you get more out of it than you put in, you know? And perhaps instead of just diamonds, you'd also get metal, like maybe 2, 5, I don't know how, like, I don't know the value of metals, but you'd get a certain amount of metals for completing the get, and then insert name here, on Palm Island, um, then you'd get the medals. And something that is a little different compared to other islands, hi Clavavera, I don't want you, is that with the shop, you cannot buy the monsters that are available here. Maybe you'd be able to see them in the shop, but like you would not be able to purchase them there. Welcome back. Yeah. Um, so the only way to get them is through here, which means you'd only be able to get one of each of those monsters, basically. Um, Either that or they wouldn't produce currency. I haven't decided, but I figured getting like an infinite amount of like one monster, especially like there's one that's a 1x1 on a grid space. Like if they would all produce the same currency, you could just get so many of those and make a farm of just that monster, you know, and that would be a bit unfair. I use GarageBand typically to make the sounds, and also hello, Sparky Pomley member. I do voice all of the Pomley members here besides Pom Pom, I think, and the two my parents voice. But yeah, I was thinking to prevent like essentially getting a free farm out of Palm Island that you would barely have to put any effort into. Either you'd only be able to get one of each monster. That's fun. Or oh dear. Or you wouldn't be able to get currencies from the Palm monsters. So you choose whichever one you'd like to think is what happens on the island. It's really up to you. Either way, I don't want it to be cheating. The elements, the breeding elements would be air, cold, and earth. Oh my gosh, Deltarune Queen. I can just imagine the sounds she would make. That she's so cool. I need to draw a queen. I do a really fun queen impression. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. Oh rad. That's really cool. I hope you have fun. Oh wait. I hope it might if this ends up being a pun, that's also fun, but I see. Interesting. And then for the other Pomely monsters, it would be whatever their elements are on their original island. This island is not a magical island, no. It's just 3 breedable elements, and then anything that's not breedable is either the elements it is on their original island, or Or else it'll just be the palm element. Fair enough. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I think that's basically it. Um, so you'll be seeing new palm monsters coming out. Um, ooh, that's really cool. What would the monsters look like? Well, for that, I guess you'll just have to wait and see. However, I will reveal what's some things I can reveal. Um, there are two people I've collaborated with for this island. One of them is in the chat. Hello, Benny. The other one is Nifby. They both have given me a monster or two each to put on this island. Um, and I'm excited for you to see them. Yeah, it's you. Um, that would be an interesting thing. On grass. Is that what this looks like? I was just trying to find a background that contrasted with the magentas and purples. Um, Again, any other questions I'm willing to answer. Just to recap, the breeding elements are air, cold, and earth, and those can be bred to make the doubles and what's the background supposed to be? I don't know. It's just kind of leading the eye into it. It's not really anything specific. It's just meant to be like very another dimension, like, you know. That would be so crazy, Chris. That would be like so wild. Thank you, Liam. Um, I will say, it's not really something that's sort of mentioned in any of the trailers or any. Why did you wait, dye your hair red? I dyed it red before, and I liked how it looked, and it was the color my mom liked most, so I was gonna do that one for senior pictures, which were meant that was meant to be last month, but the person ended up getting COVID-19 and had to go quarantined in that time, so we got delayed till next month. As in next month from, sorry, 2 months from now. Sorry. Um, so the concert starts. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see. Any other questions? I'm willing to answer. Um, fair enough. Um, it's meant to have a really weird vibe about it, like a otherworldly type, really weird, something you shouldn't have stumbled across vibe, you know. Um, but my favorite sound. This isn't something someone asked. I'll recap it again in a second. But yes, there is a father structure. I don't know if that was what you were intending to say there, or if you just happened to say that. Um, or the island be located? I imagine it would be in some sort of pocket dimension, or some other dimension. Maybe not a pocket dimension, just some other dimension very similar to the Thumpy dimension. Please. What do those do? Okay, I'll go over the recap again real quick. Um, so the breeding elements on this island can be bred with the breeding structure, and then the monsters gotten from that can go into the nursery just like any other island. And Billy is barking in the background. My apologies. But the elements that can be bred on this island are cold, air, and earth, and those are the ones that make Pom Pom and Hula. Hula's available all year long. Papa Papa, the structure right here. This is the rhythm minigame, and here is my wonderfully drawn up mock-up map. Each level is called, like, each section is called a batch of levels. Like this is a batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, 4, 5, you know, so on and so forth. And there's 2 levels in this batch, 3 levels in this batch. Pom Pom and Hula go here. Since this batch is completed, then you move on to the next batch. Hula, Suza, Ruba. Once that batch is completed, you get each of their eggs as you complete the levels. It unlocks the next batch. Here we have uh, the first original Pomley monster. And then unlocks the next one, next one, next one. And I forgot to mention, um, the island. If you're meaning this island, this one is just a normal My Singing Monsters one, like a first game one. I don't do a lot of Dawn of Fire content, like, at all, really. I would love to see a Billy cameo. I don't want to bother Billy right now, but he does cameo in quite a few of my streams. Will there be rares and epics? I will not be making rares and epics, probably. I did plan to make rares and epics for all of my islands at one point, but I've kind of decided against it at this point, if I'm being honest. I just kind of want to get all the stuff done so I can move on to other projects. So lore-wise, there would probably be rares and epics. Maybe there would be something Crucible-like here, if it were, I don't know. Maybe each time you would go back and complete this, as the rares and epics came out. Maybe if you did like a perfect score again, you get the rare. Perfect score again, you get epic. And perfect score from then on, you get like coins, and each time the coins are less and less. Oh, Billy as a singing monster. That has been suggested before, and I don't know. I'll think about it, but I don't really know where that would go. I have one island that does have a dog themed monster, but uh yeah, sure. You can give a tip on the first new Pomley monster. Sure, sure, sure. Um I'm also going to uh I'm going to give some, I guess, little hints about what's going to be happening, like who's some of the future monsters, I guess. Um oh, I mean, the monster handlers usually like fan projects. They don't usually, they like, if you go back to Love Island and Spookatical, try that again. Spookatical Island, like some of the very first updates, the MSM account actually commented on that. So I can very much say that they are in fact very supportive of fan projects. But they try not to check out certain fan projects because they don't want it to influence them. Because they don't want to accidentally like steal from their fans, you know? Like, they're supportive, but they don't want to accidentally steal anything, subconsciously, you know? That is very true. It is, very, how do I word this? The first Pomley monster will, the whole gimmick, there's two gimmicks on the first one, actually. And it's size related. It's the 1x1 monster I mentioned before. And it's two entities. I will agree with that. And I will say that is the one that is voiced by both of my parents. And I will say that the second new Pomley monster, which be, I believe, batch 4, um they are a 4x4 space because I just liked the idea of having a really small monster next to a really big monster, like levels wise. Um uh oh, interesting. How'd that go, Liam? Um but the second new Pom monster will be voiced by my mother. Um, and since it's like a bigger monster, I was like, ooh, what if deeper voice? So it's my mom's voice kind of pitched down a little bit. Um, and I am very happy to have my parents have voiced monsters. That, how do I word that? I'm happy to have had my parents voice monsters on this island for me. Um, and this isn't related to the island. Again, I'm just kind of stalling to see if there's any last questions coming in before I end this stream. I when I see this island, not island, when I hear some of the sounds, such as, yes, big palm monster. Oh, I'm so excited for the second to last monster. It's an absolute abomination, and it's not a normal grid. Like, you know how monsters are almost always like a 2x2, 1x1, 5x5, 4x4, whatever, all that stuff, where it's just a perfect square. Well, the last monster has a very unique grid size. Like, it wouldn't, maybe it would be a square, but like, if it were in the game, it probably wouldn't be a very normal grid space size. Oh yeah, I know. It's very intentional for him not to make sense, meant to feel very off and otherworldly. Um, Heck yeah. Um, Once again, any last? Oh dear. Once again, any last questions coming in, I will answer. Um, so I was very intentional with which monsters I have coming out when. The first two I wanted to be my parents, so I just wanted to get those two out right away. Is Cybop on this island? Yes. Cybop, Pango, and Drumpler are on this island. They are bred with Tweedle, Mammoth, and Noggin. I almost said Kana. Kana is not on this island. Um, Once again, any last minute questions coming in, I'm very willing to answer. I know I'm repeating myself a lot here, but I just want to make sure everyone asks everything that they want to ask. And of course, if you have a question that I don't get to answer before the end of the stream, feel free to ask in the questions. So true, Benny. Oh dear. Yes. Thank you, goodbye. But Pango originally did have a different sounding track than the one you're gonna get to hear, but I ended up swapping it out for, like, I made a new track because it kind of conflicted and sounded a little too similar to a certain Pomley monster coming out later. So Pango is a little different than they originally were on this island. Is this island for natural fire, magical earth, monsters? Breeding-wise, it's just natural monsters, and a seasonal. But then minigame-wise, it brings in magical and fire, 2 magical monsters and 1 fire monster. Why is the mythical thing at the bottom? Oh, this stuff? Oh, this was just when Mythical Island was coming out. Try that again. I forgot how to speak for a second. Apologies. I'm going to be using GarageBand for this. I need to remember to redo my creep recording for something. Okay. That is exactly what I said, isn't it? Oh. To be fair, it was like 4 p.m. and I looked out my window and it was already starting to get dark. Now it's like really dark out. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I think we're pretty much done here, honestly. Okay, recap again for anyone who wasn't here. Yeah. Thank you. Oh? Interesting. Don't know what that means. Recap again for anyone who wasn't here towards the beginning or the middle. It's a breeding island with 3 elements. It's the air, earth, and noggin, and you get those through the breeding structure and the nursery just like any other island. And then Pom Pom and Hula can be used to go into this structure called Papa Papa. And Papa Papa is a rhythm minigame, which here's a little mock-up of the map. Each group of levels or level is called a batch. There can be levels in a batch, but not every batch is just 1 level. Like batch 1 is 2 levels, batch 2 is 3 levels, batch 3 and 4 and so on are all just 1 level each. Air and Earth and Noggin. Did I say Air and Earth and Noggin? I'm so sorry. Air, Earth, and Cold. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to rush through this to not bore people. Um, oh my gosh, I'm so smart. Listen, listen, I meant air, earth, and cold. Oh, that's fun. I'm so sorry. Anyway, batch 1, Pom Pom Hula unlocks batch 2, Souza, Tutu, and Ruba. I almost said a monster's name that does not exist and has never existed and will never exist. I don't. I almost mixed. Mixed. I almost mixed Noggin and Souza's name together in some weird combination. So after this batch is finished, it moves on to this batch and this one, this one, this one. And then after each of these, you get, skipping this one, after each of these, from here on, you get the you get the egg of the corresponding monster that you're using in the rhythm game. Um, and then you get a reward of medals because the monsters are brought. The 3 breeding monsters are bought with medals here, so you get more here than you'd put into it. So you get a reward basically. Um, and then if you go back and redo monsters, you'd probably get the rare, then the epic, and then a pretty good reward after that, and a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less, and then just a pretty okay amount from then on, basically, to prevent people from sort of abusing it. Um, anyway, so once you get the egg, instead of going to the nursery, so you can still get the breeding monsters at the same time as the minigame monsters, the eggs instead go into here to incubate in Mom Mom. Um, and that's basically it. Uh, once again, Palm Island videos will be coming out daily from tomorrow up until American Thanksgiving. I don't know what the schedule is for like the week after that, but the week after that one is going to be 4 per week. Oh, that's a fun. That's a fun. I think that's it. Um, if you have any last minute questions, I recommend just putting them in the comments. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do an edited VOD or not for this, but the VOD will probably stay public rather than going unlisted into my streams playlist. I'll probably stream Hollow Knight later tonight, or else Monster Road Trip. I'm not sure which, but I'm gonna be adding this stuff to the fan kit. And as a reward for sticking around to the last minute, here, 1 second, let me switch over to this screen for 1 second. Actually, 1 second. Let me just turn off the music so it doesn't do all kinds of weird stuff. Will the monsters wake up like Wildlands? Nope. Once they are hatched from Mama Mama or the nursery, depending which monster it is, they will automatically be just on the island. As a reward for staying here till the end, I'm going to be showing you the first Palm Island monster. So, give me 1 moment while I go and download it. Once again, this monster is a 1x1 grid space, and they're voiced by my parents, and they are more than one entity. An entity. It's a hard word for me to say. I'm sorry. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go. This is Duo Duo. And once again, they're voiced by my parents. Um, this one was made by file mashing and drawing, a mix of the two. Um, but the rest of the monsters are all just straight up drawn. Um, so yeah, Duo Duo will be the one coming out after batch 2. So this will be the batch 3 monster. Yeah, fair enough. When I say they are small, please do not underestimate how small they are. They are incredibly tiny. They are a 1x1 grid space once again. Um, so yeah, I hope you are ready to see Duo, and all of the new monsters after you see all of the existing monsters on Palm Island. Ah, okay. Hello. I'm actually just about to end the stream, so I hope you're excited for Palm Island. Every time I would do a vote on, hey, what island do you guys want to see me do? Wait, want to see me do next? And every single time, Palm Island was at the absolute bottom of the list. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing it anyway. I've finished all of the ones that people have voted for. So like those are all out now. So instead of giving like a new list, hey, what do you guys want to see next? I'm just gonna continue going through that list, even though this is the one people wanted the absolute least. I was working on it for months and I was like, okay, I need to get this out. Especially because of some issues I've been having with Google Drive. So I hope you are relatively excited for the island that people really did not want from me. That's that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy. Once again, I'll probably be doing a Hollow Knight stream later on. I'm glad you're excited. I hope people, now that they actually see what this is for and what I was meaning by an island with that's focused on pom pom and hula. I hope now that people see what I was meaning, maybe now people will be a little more excited about it. Is what my hopes are. But um, I hope you're excited because it's starting tomorrow, and it's gonna be going for a bit. It's gonna be one sound per day. Um, and once again, uh, full batch one song on American Thanksgiving. Oh, I don't know what you mean. I have an essay to go work on, so I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to once again stream either Hollow Knight or Monster Road Trip. Um, that is all for this time. I hope you enjoyed this little stream talking about Palm Island. Once again, I encourage you, if you still have any questions, absolutely please ask in the comments. I am very willing to answer. Even if it's not about Palm Island, if you just have general questions about me or the channel, whatever, I'm very willing to answer whatever, honestly. But especially Palm Island related, I'm very happy to answer. I've been working on this for months now, but I don't know if I ever finished this story or not, so I'm gonna finish this story quick, and then I'll go. So anytime I hear um, Duo, the one after Duo, the one that's just voiced by my mom, Cybop or Hula, I think of the fact that we voiced those in a hotel room before my sister's wedding in Florida. So I just think I just relive that basically anytime I hear the sounds for those monsters. Um, but that's all. That's it. It's not that interesting of a story, but that is all for this time. I hope you have a lovely day or night or whatever it is for you. I hope to see you again in the future. I'm repeatedly missing the button I'm wanting to click. There we go. Goodbye. I think I'm actually gonna do an organizing stream before I do my essay after this stream. So like, if you wanna be there, just like reload the page in like a minute after this ends.